Hey, I've been working on the graphics of Elder Scrolls Online lately, and I just wanted to show what I've learned to everyone. I think there's a lot of things people don't know about that could really benefit them regardless of what kind of computer they use. Here's some settings that I recommend everyone tries, and this is tuned to trying to increase FPS and help everyone get better graphics at the same time. So first off, what you're going to want to do is have your game open and go over to graphics quality and set it to minimum. It's weird, but set it to minimum, and then reload your game. Once you get it reloaded, you can change the view distance up a little bit, maybe the particle suppression down a little bit, but that's about the only things you want to change initially while it's on minimum. You do want to make sure that your resolution is the correct resolution for your monitor. Like, I was using 2715 by 1527, but my monitor didn't support that, so my graphics card was having to work overtime in order to give me the correct compensation, and that was a huge FPS loss I didn't realize. So make sure you have the correct resolution and set it to minimum, reload, that's it. And then after that, you need to exit your game completely. You're gonna exit your game all the way, exit Steam. You don't have to exit Steam, but exit the launcher too. And then the next thing you want to do is go to your desktop. So personal display, adapter properties, monitor, refresh rate. You want your refresh rate to be as high as it can be, the biggest number it can be. This still just has to do with your monitor screen. You can click in this box here. I can't, you probably can, to only let it show you the hertz rates that your monitor can display, and apply. Then what you need to do is head on over to your documents, Elder Scrolls Online, Live, user settings, which I have pulled up here, and in your user settings, I'm going bottom to top. In your user settings, change requested number job threads to 0 and requested number of worker threads to 0. Change the minimum frame time, 0.2, over to this number. What that number is that just allows ESO to hit higher frame rates, to get higher frames per second. The number by default that's over here, it'll stop ESO from getting larger frames than a certain amount, and whatever it's set as by default is the same thing that consoles have by default. So on a PC you can almost definitely get something better. Scrolling up, I say put max entropy at 0. I think that's already going to be set when you put ESO on the minimum settings. Some people prefer otherwise. set soft alpha to 0. Make sure this one says 0. Don't remember what that one was for, but yeah, definitely set it to 0. MIP load skip levels. This one is amazing. Set this to -3 if your graphics card can handle it. This basically increases the quality beyond the highest quality of the game, but it really doesn't lose out on performance. Some of these other numbers, by setting the game to minimum first, gets set down to low levels, but this one right here is like the quality of textures in the game, and it doesn't affect performance very much, so try it at -3 if you can. You'll definitely notice a huge difference right there. Same with this one, huge difference. It's gonna say 10 in the first place, GPU smoothing frames to 10. Most games have this thing set to like, I think it's 4 or 2. And for some reason, ESO, the GPU smoothing frames, is at 10 by default, which is absurd. Set to 0 though, you don't need it. You don't need it. Next one is high resolution shadows. Turn that down to 0. You won't even notice a difference with the high resolution shadows gone. And the FPS increase for it will really help. Okay, so those are the settings that I'm recommending you make, and then you go to your file and you save it. And so we're done in here. What else? Right, and then back over here to your shader cache cooked. This is gonna be some huge number probably, and it takes up load time. This is just all your shading files for the game that you have. It's totally safe to do this. Just go ahead and delete it, completely delete it, and the next time you turn on ESO, it'll take a few more minutes to turn ESO on, but it'll recreate this file for you, and it'll be empty, and you won't have as much extra data that you need to compensate for. Yeah. So then turn back on ESO and see how you like that. Your subsampling quality, once you turn it back on, is going to be low. Turn it back on high, you can keep it on low. But you go ahead and change this. Don't touch this texture quality anymore. See how mine's blank? That's because we have the MIP load speed at -3. So, I hope that helps everyone. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me a PM.